we are in
unit 3, that is screen design. How we are going to design the screen, what are the precautions we have to take, what are the features what are all we have to follow, everything we are going to learn under this unit screen designing. The topics in screen designing are designing goals, screen meaning and its purpose, organizing screen elements, ordering of screen data and content, screen navigation and flow, visually pleasing composition, amount of information that has to be placed on the screen, focus and emphasis. Presentation information simply and meaningfully, information retrieval on web, statistical graphics, technological considerations in interface design. Now we are entering into unit 3, that is screen design. A well designed screen. What is a well designed screen? When we call that screen as a well designed screen, reflects the capabilities, needs and task of its users. Okay. Whatever the user's capabilities, it has to be reflect on the screen. The needs of the users has to be displayed. What are the tasks has to be done by the user, it is also displayed on the screen. Is developed with the physical constraints imposed by the hardware on which it is displayed. Whatever the screen you are going to design, it is having some physical constraints, nothing but what is the size of that screen, that is the hardware. Okay, whether you are designing for the laptop screen, whether you are designing for the LCD monitor of 32 inches or 52 inches, or your screen is just with the palm size. It depends upon the hardware which it is going to display, the screen which is displayed on the effectively utilizes the capabilities of its controlling software. Okay, whatever the screen which we are going to design has the capabilities of its controlling software, achieving the business objectives of the system for which it is designed. Okay, the main intention behind every design is it should meet the business objectives. What is the purpose of designing that? What is the intention behind designing of that screen? It should meet. Okay, whatever the user's needs, whatever the customer satisfaction is to be there for each and every screen design. The first topic in that screen design is interface designing goals. What are the goals of designing an interface? Reduce visual work. Okay, the main intention is visual work has to be reduced and then reduce intellectual work. Okay, no need of thinking about how to select this object on the screen, what we have to do next, how we have to navigate from one screen to another. That intellectual work of the user has to be reduced and then reduce memory work. No need of memorizing something. Okay, no need of recalling something. Everything should be visible, then we can easily select and easily drag and drop the things also. Okay, that is the intention. And reduce motor work. Okay, processing, here motor is nothing but processing work has to be reduced and minimize or eliminate any burden or instructions imposed by technology. Okay, suppose if you are using Unix screen, Unix operating system, it is very difficult that we have to do everything through instructions. Okay, whatever we want to do, we have to do it through several instructions. Whereas if you go to the Windows operating system, you can use interactive devices because it is graphical user interface. The Windows is having graphical user interface that minimizes the burden or instructions imposed by the technology. Okay, whatever technology is there in built in, we are using that with very ease. Okay, so these are all the uh, interface design goals. Okay, whenever we are designing some interface, we have to consider these goals behind that. We have to reduce the visual work of the user, we have to reduce intellectual work, we have to reduce memory work, we have to reduce motor work, minimize or eliminate any burdens or instructions imposed by the technology. And then screen meaning and purpose. What is the meaning of the screen and why we are designing for that? Each element having its own meaning. Every control, all text, everything which we are going to place on the screen must consist of some meaning. Otherwise, unnecessary data should not put on the screen. The screen organization, how we are going to organize it, where we have to place the controlling objects, where we have to place the navigation objects, where we have to place the text of that pack. Everything should be in well organized format. Or emphasize each color have its own importance, which color we are going to use. Every graphic, whatever the pictures we are going to put on that, whatever the videos we are going to display, each and everything has its own meaning and purpose. All screen animations, each message, all forms of feedback. Everything consists of some meaning and purpose. The screen must have meaning to screen users. Have meaning to screen user. Serve the purpose in performing task. Whatever the task we are going to perform, it should serve its own purpose. Okay. We have to consider while we are designing the screen for banking application. So all the banking operation should be placed on the screen. Otherwise, it is not going to serve its purpose. Okay. So we have to consider the purpose of the particular screen while performing the task. All elements on the screen must have meaning to users and serve a purpose in performing tasks or fulfilling the needs. If an element does not have meaning, does not include it on the screen because it is noise. Okay, unnecessary information should not be placed on the screen. Why? Because it becomes a noise. Okay, unnecessary information, it will deviate the user. Okay, it will increase the time. Okay, it is waste of time for the user. So we have to eliminate the elements which are not having meaning, which are not having any relationship with the particular screen. Noise is a distraction, complete for the screen's users attention and contributes for information overloaded. Whatever information will be get overloaded and it will distract the user's attention. At which is important will be more difficult to find. That which it is very difficult to find. Next, organizing screen elements clearly and meaningfully. The third point in screen design is organizing the screen elements clearly and meaningfully. Visual clarity is achieved when the display elements are organized and presented in meaningful and understandable ways. Okay, and then a clear and clean organization makes it easier to recognize screen's essential elements and to ignore its secondary information when appropriate. Clarity is influenced by the multitude of factors: consistency in design, visually pleasing composition, logical and sequential ordering, the presentation of the proper amount of information, groupings and alignment of screen items. Consistency. What do you mean by consistency? Provide real world consistency. Reflect the person's experience, expectations, work conventions, cultural conventions. This is called consistency. It should provide a real world consistency. The screen should provide a real world consistency by reflecting the person's experiences. Okay. Whatever the terminology he is familiar, the terminology has to be placed on the screen. work conventions, which conventions the persons are familiar, that conventions we have to be put on that. And then cultural conventions, everything should be placed in a proper order. Provide internal consistency, observe the same conventions and rules for all aspects of interface design. Whatever conventions you have started, whatever conventions or rules for all aspects of an interface design. Okay, first it should be good and later on it will decrease its accessibility. It should not happen. Okay, from starting page to ending page we have to maintain consistency. Nothing but same convention, same rules, same regulations we have to follow, and all applications or website screen including operational and navigational procedures, visually identity or theme. What are the component? Organization, presentation, usage and location. The components in organizing the screen elements are organization of elements, presentation of elements, usage of elements and locations we have placed. Follow the same conventions and rules across all related interfaces. Deviate only when there is a clear benefit to user. Okay, we have to follow the same conventions and rules across all related interfaces. Deviation should not be there. If at all it is required, only few or only a small amount of deviation can be allowed when there is a clear benefit to the user. Okay, rules are meant for the ease of user. Okay, so if the user ultimately we have to satisfy the user. If the deviation is meant for the user benefit, then clearly we can go for that, no problem at all. Quite simply, consistency greatly aids learning. It establishes an expectation and permits a person to employ conceptual learning and transfer training. This quite simple and consistency greatly aids in learning. Okay, it establishes an expectation and permits a person to employ conceptual learning and transfer training. Okay, it is easy for learning and it will be easy for training someone on that. Inconsistency force one to memorize and remember. Okay, if it does not have consistency, then the person has to memorize the things and he has to recall whenever it is necessary. A variety of different ways to do something or interpret what is presented on the screen. In website design, consistency greatly enhances visual scanning, a common user activity. It also fosters a screen of places, reassuring a person that he or she is rooted in certain locations. This provides stability and reduces navigation confusion. And then the fourth point in screen design is ordering of screen data and content. In ordering of screen data and content, divide the information into units that are logical, meaningful and sensible. Whenever you are dividing the information, that unit should be logically divided and it should consist of some meaning and somewhat sensible. Organized by the degree of interrelationship between data or information. Provide an ordering of screen units of information and elements that is prioritized according to the user's expectations and needs. Possible ordering schemes include conventional, everything should be conventional, sequence of use, it should be conventional and sequence of use. Possibly whenever you are going to include something, then it should follow some order. Okay, you have to log in first, and then check for validation, and then you start for the operation. It is nothing but the sequence of actions you are going to perform. Okay, so ordering the screen elements on the screen, it should be sequential. Okay, and then functions and their importance, and then general to specific. Okay, not only sequence of actions, depending on the functions we are going to perform, the importance of the elements, which element has to be put for higher importance, priority. Importance is nothing but priority. Highest priority should be placed first and the least priority should be placed last. And then general to specific, very general things to specific things. Form groups that cover all possibilities. Ensure that the information that must be compared is visible at the same time. Ensure that only information relative to the user's task or need is presented on the screen. We should make sure that information that must be compared is visibly the same at different times. Okay, so whenever we start the screen, it should display the login information. Okay, that is nothing but once it is displaying some information, and next time you are logging in, you are not displaying some information, it should not be there. Okay, every time it should compressed of visible at the same time. Okay, ensure that only information related to the user task. When I am going to enter something, that information, related information should be there. When I am going to search something, then that searching element related task should be there. Like that, we have to ensure that the information which we are going to place on the screen, it should be related to the user's task and needs. Okay, other than that we are not going to place on that. And the fifth point is screen navigation and flow. Provide an ordering of screen information and elements that is rhythmic, guiding a person's eye through the display. Encourage natural movement sequence, minimize pointer and eye movement distance. Okay, whenever your navigation from one screen to another screen, it should be rhythmic, nothing but guiding the eyes, the person's eye through the display. Encourage natural movement sequence. Okay, from left to right. Okay, whenever you are going to read, you will read from left to right. So whenever you are going to provide the importance of the elements, the highest importance should be placed on left, and then lowest importance should be given on the right. Okay, like that we have to minimize the pointing and eye movements of the screen. Okay, the related items should be grouped and they should be placed in one single place. Then it will minimize our pointing distance and eye movement of that. Okay, locate the most important and most frequently used elements and controls on the top left. Okay, whenever you are placing most frequently and most important elements, then we have to put it in the top left of the control. Okay, and then maintain the top to bottom and left to right flow. Whenever you are placing the things, you have to follow some order, that is top to bottom and then left to right. Aligning elements, grouping elements and use of borderlines. Do focus and emphasis sequentially direct attention to items that are critical, important, secondary and peripheral. Okay, we have to focus the first items as critical items, and then second important items we have to give, and then secondary items, then peripheral items. This is the sequence of giving attention to the items. Okay, tab through window is logical order of displaying information. Locate command buttons at the end of the tabbing ordering sequence. Okay, just like at the last submit button or reset button, that should be at the end of the button. That buttons are considered as the command buttons. When groups of related information must be broken and displayed on separate screens, provide breaks of logical points in the information flow. It establishes eye movement through a screen. Also consider that the eye tends to move sequentially. For example, from dark areas to light areas, from big objects to light objects, from unusual shapes to common shapes, from highly saturated colors to unsaturated colors. This is how we have to move from eye movement from one trend to another trend. Okay. These techniques can be initially used to focus a person's attention to one area of the screen and then direct it elsewhere. Maintain top to bottom, left to right through the screen. This top to bottom orientation is recommended because of eye movements between the items will be shorter, control movements between the items will be shorter, grouping or more obvious perspectively. When one's eyes moves away from the screen and then back, it turns to about same space it left. When if it is keeping next item in sequence. So this is about the first 5 concepts, and visually next week test question is for this week is write and explain about visually pleasing composition. Okay, so these all 5 combinedly we can call them as visually pleasing composition. Okay, provide visually pleasing composition with the following qualities: balance, symmetry, regularity, predictability, sequentiality, common, economy, unity, proposition, simplicity, and grouping. These are considered as the visually pleasing compositions. And see here, create screen balance by providing the equal weights of the screen elements from left to and right, top and bottom. Balance and instability. See, this is symmetry. Okay, left items and right items, they should be equal, and asymmetry. Okay, and regularity. Create a regularity by establishing standard consistency spaced horizontal or vertical alignment points. Use similar items as shapes, colors and spaces. Otherwise, irregular things will look like this. Okay, if you see this particular picture, the first one is regularity and the second one is irregularity. How pleasing it looks like when the things are placed in a regular way. And if you see the second picture and how clumsy it looks like, the things are irregular and the shapes are irregular and the sizes are irregular. Okay, and predictability. So predictability, whenever you are seeing at the screen, you may guess the title of that screen will be on the top, middle, and then the closing icon or minimizing things or in the top right, and then controls in the middle and menu after that title bar, you are going to predict. Okay, but if you see here, the menu bar at the bottom and the title bar at the least bottom, you can't be predictable or spontaneity it is. Okay, so if it is predictable, then it will minimize the user's effort to selecting that one or working with that. If it is spontaneity, if you are following the spontaneity, it is a waste of time for the user, and user may disconnect with that particular screen because of heavy hectic work. So sequential and predictability. This is how sequential and randomness. Sequential is nothing but we have to place one by one in sequential from top to bottom, and random wherever and whenever you are required you can place that one. That is sequential and randomness. Economy. Okay, economy is nothing but provide economy by using few styles, display techniques and colors as possible. Okay, so you have to decrease the number of colors you are going to use, and styles you have to minimize, And display techniques you have to minimize. That is nothing but economy. Within the few things you have to design your screen in a very good manner. If you are using too many designs and too many colors and too many techniques, that intricacy, nothing but waste of cost. Okay, when you are publishing the things, when you are doing something, that number of colors, when you are printing, there are so many colors on the screen, that is nothing but you are using number of inks. Okay, that directly reflect to your economy. Unity, all having fragmentation and unity, you are placing everything in its in one particular place, then it is comes under unity. Similar sizes, shapes and colors for related information. Fragmentation means leaving less space between the elements for the screen than the space left at the margin. Okay, fragmentation is nothing but you are fragmenting that one part of the top and top left and top right and bottom left and bottom right. This is called fragmentation. Nothing but whenever we are looking at fragmentation, then we can find that one person is staying in one corner and the second person is staying in second corner. Like that, if a rectangle having four corners, four persons are staying in four different corners. And proposition. What proposition we have to take? Okay, what is the length and breadth proposition? Create window or grouping of data or text with the aesthetically pleasing propositions. The propositions count here square, square root of 2, golden rectangle, square root of 3 and double square. These are the propositions of taking the buttons. And then simplicity, how simple it is, how complex it is. Okay, see the two pictures, you can find what is simple and what is complex. Optimizing the number of elements on the screen within the limits of clarity, then it is simple. If it is not there, then it is will be a complexity. If you see here, organizing the text itself, original screen from two lists with the title, caption and data, indescribed by rectangles. Whatever data it is described in rectangles. If you look at this, summary and test results are given on the top, and next data will be given in the bottom. Okay, redesigned screen. If you see the redesigned screen, then you can find tip ground, what is there, resistance, voltage, whatever the data it is given, and then validating dial tone, balance, what is the balance, everything is given in a proper order. Okay, and then grouping, provide functional grouping of association elements, create special grouping as close as possible to 5 degrees of visual angles. Every space control within the grouping allows 1/8 to 1/4 inch between each. Okay. Visually reinforced grouping, provide adequate separation between grouping through liberal use of white space. Provide line borders around groups, provide meaningful titles for each grouping. See here the grouping of things. How we have to group? We have to provide borders for that. If you see text cases, test results having one border, summary having one border, and the data which is taken, the result data having another border, everything will be placed in a one box, one rectangular box. That is called grouping of the things. Perspectival principles and functional grouping. How perspectival proximity, similarity, closure, matching patterns, all these things are considered as perspectival principles and functional grouping. Depending upon their functions, depending upon their size, shape, we are going to group the functions into different units. Okay, and grouping using white space. Okay, provide adequate separation between groups through liberal use of white space. We should give white space between the groups, that will cause you to separation. For web pages, carefully consider the trade-off between the screen white space and the requirements of page scrolling. Grouping using borders, as we know that it will look good and it will guide the eye through the screen. Do not exceed the line thickness of two line style on the screen, however. These are all the grouping through borders using different styles. Incorporating lines, borders on the screen will give you a pleasing to your screen. Leave sufficient adding space between the information and the surrounding borders. Okay, you have to adjust grouping with the borders, possibly align the borders left, right, top and bottom. Use rules and borders sparingly. See here, we are grouping the things and we are using one border, and everywhere we are giving some space. Okay, we are not typing the things adjacent to the border, we are giving some space in that. Okay, nothing but eye catching, and we are giving borders for each thing. If you see here, it will be looking somewhat clumsy. If you see this one, it will give somewhat clarity when compared to the previous one. Okay, visual style in web page design. In basic, maintain the consistency in unified visual style through the pages, throughout the pages of an entire website. Base the visual style on the profile and goals of website owner, the profile tastes and expectations of the website user. The amount of information, present the proper amount of information for the task. Too little is insufficient and too much is confusing. Present all information necessary for performing an action or making the decision on the screen whenever possible. People should not have to remember the things from one screen to the next. Restrict screen or window density levels to no more than the 30%. Increasing the density of the display increases the time and errors in finding information. There are two types of density to be calculated on the screen, and overall and local. These are the two types of density which we have to calculate it on the screen. Overall density is the measure of the percentage of character position on the entire screen contains data. Local density is the measure of how tightly packed the screen is. Okay, local density is nothing but how tightly packed the screen is. If you see here how tightly it is packed, the total information, the screen is very large and we are packing it into one particular area. Okay, that is local density. And overall density is nothing but how much data, how much area the data is spread over. Web page sizes, the minimize page length, restrict to 2 to 3 screens of information and locate it within the top 4 inches. Focus and emphasize. Visually emphasize the most prominent elements, most important elements, central idea on focal point. To provide emphasis, use techniques such as higher brightness, reserve polarity or increase video, larger and density font, underlining, blinking, line rolling and surrounding boxes or frames. These are the focus and emphasizing points. Whenever you want to highlight bright colors, you have to use whatever the important points you highlight with the bright color. You underline the point or you can blink that point, that it will catch the user's eyes. Contrasting colors, large size, positioning, isolation, distinctive and unusual shape, white space. De-emphasize less important elements. Okay, you have to emphasize important elements, whereas de-emphasize the unimportant elements which are not important. Otherwise, too much data should not be placed. If you place so much data on the screen will get cluttered. In web page design, call attention to new and change content. Okay, whenever the new content is added, give importance to that. Ensure the page text is not overwhelmed the page background. Okay, apply the emphasize techniques to highlight the most important and most prominent parts of the screen, such as brightness, reverse polarity, font, underlining, blinking, line rolling and surrounding boxes of frames and colors. De-emphasize less important elements, avoid too much emphasis, web page emphasize. Okay, all these things you have to do. Present information simply and meaningfully. Provide legibility. Information is noticeable and distinguishable. Provide readability. Information is identifiable, interpretable, and attractive. Present information in usable form. Translation, transposition, and reference to document should be required to interpret and understand information. Utilize contrasting display features to contrast and call attention to different screen elements. Create visual lines, implicit to guide the eyes in appearance and procedural use. Presenting information, topography, nothing but such as time New Romans, which type of typing we are using, either Arial, Verdina, Helvetica in front of whether what is the size of that, whether we are using Times Roman 16 or Arial 12 points, which we are using, which order, screen design, different fonts, what font we are going to use, either bold or normal, which mode we are using, font types, and we are having different font types. Mostly we are using sans serif or Times New Roman. Most of the times we are using use no more than two families. Okay, either you can go for Times New Roman or you can go for San Francisco. More than that, don't go for that. Okay, don't go for more than two families of font. And thickness, capital letters and their heights, assign separate purpose for each family, allow one family to dominate. If you see here Times Roman, Times Italic, Times Bold, Times Bold Italic, these are different types. In that we have to use only font types and families. Font types and families. Never mix families with the rest. Topographic noise is created. Okay. And then font size, what height, and what 12 for menus, 10 for windows, like that. What height we have to use for web pages, which font we have to use, for graphical systems which font we have to use, for line spacing which font we have to use, for sequence of more text which font we have to use, like that we have to highlight the font sizes. And then font styles and weights. Okay, whether we are using regular or bold. Bold is best presented in sans serif font, and regular is good for Times New Roman. Like that we have to calculate their fonts. And then font case, which case we are using, control captions, data, text, information message, which thing we are going to use, and title, section heading, subheading. We have to capitalize the things for title, section heading, subsection heading, cautions and warning messages, words and phrase small in point size. Okay, use lower cases for all other things. Okay, screen elements, control captions, data information displayed on the screen, headings, headlines, instructional information, and the screen titles. The following guidelines address the screen components. Identify the controls with captions and labels. Fully spell them out in the language meaningful to the user. Display them in the normal intensity. Use a mixed case font. Capitalize the first letter of each significant word. End each caption with the colon. Choose distinct captions that can be easily distinguished from each caption. Screen elements, data fields for inquiry or display, which screen we have to use, which background we have to use. Visually emphasize this one. If you see division, department, title, like that we have to use. Okay. And second approach is this one. And the next approach, you can use border lines and it will give more pleasing, and if you add buttons for that, if you see here, the one by one we are increasing the pleasingness of the screen. Okay, if you see different types of screens which is having their own importance. Okay, this ends with your presentation of information in simply and meaningful. method. Okay, thank you.